Our next guest on Dodgers-LowDown was drafted by Los Angeles in the 12th round of the 2015 draft. Last year for the Quakes, he was not only a postseason All-Star, but also led the team in RBIs. A man who enjoys a clutch at bat, Mr. Matt Beaty. Matt, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me, Steven.
We really appreciate you taking the time. I know the offseason is dwindling right now as we speak. Let's talk about a little bit the success you've enjoyed so far in professional baseball. At Ogden, I mean, you were only there for what, a few games, hit over 400. You haven't hit less than 297 at all in your career so far in the short time in the minor leagues. How much does that validate in your mind that you're progressing at the right rate for you?
I have a lot of confidence in myself. I've always had to prove myself, so it's kind of like an internal battle for me to always, keep getting better. So yeah, I did have that early success. I rolled into pro ball right after my senior season at Belmont. Had a good senior season, and just kept it rolling. So, it's good to see it having success at each level, but just got to continue to keep working harder and getting better at each level. So
We'll talk about that a little bit. I mean, what adjustments have been necessary so far to keep that rolling for you?
just making little small changes to my swing. I work with Gibby a lot. He wasn't in rookie ball with me, but I got to low A Great Lakes pretty fast and kind of hit it off with him. I like the way his coaching technique and everything like that. So just working with him because he had a solid career at big league level, and taking any kind of information I can from him to make any adjustments in my swing.
I did see the interview at your blog site and vlog site for you and your wife, which is Dreams and Seams, and I'll put a link in the description below. But I mean, Jay Gibbons, slugger for the Orioles, he was a feared hitter, left-handed hitter. I mean, talk about what it's meant to you to go ahead and work with him for the last year and a half or so.
Yeah, it's awesome to be able to work with any guy that's played at that level and had a lot of success at that level.
Sure.
And then especially Jay Gibbons. I mean, I've always been a baseball fan. I've always been really intrigued by baseball and watch every game all the time when I was younger. I mean, even still do. But watching him when I was like 10, 12, 13 years old, watching him on TV and seeing him hit home runs. And, yeah, he was a feared hitter, big power hitter
Yeah.
for the Orioles. And then getting to be a player for him and talk with him about just talking about his favorite stadiums to play in, his favorite guys to face, favorite or worst guys to face. Just talking baseball with him, it's a lot of fun. I guess you get a lot more inside information that the general fan doesn't get to have with him or interact with him. So it's really cool to be able to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. What a great guy to glean information from. Uh, Now, does it feel as though the minor league coaches and instructors like to keep you guys in a constant state of uncomfortableness? Because it seems like position players are always moving around.
I think minor leagues is a place for all the players to experiment. Yeah, winning's important, but player development is just as important. Winning's not the number one thing in the minor leagues. It's developing the players and finding what works best for that particular player. As a coach, you can't be a cookie cutter coach, and not one technique or one kind of swing adjustment is going to work for everybody and every hitter. So
Sure.
And I think that's what Gibby's really good about in particular is he's not going to push that information upon you. He's going to give it to you. You can either take it or leave it. And I think through my time playing baseball, that's the best coaches, the ones that won't force you to do something. They'll give you the information, what they think that you need to adjust with, and you can take it or leave it. So.
Well, speaking of adjustments, I mean, playing third base, playing first base, how big of an adjustment was that for you? And I mean, what position is your strongest? Where do you like to play the best?
Well, I grew up playing third base for the most part. I really didn't start playing first base until freshman year of college.
Hmm.
I didn't really care. Just to be able to hit is my favorite thing. So if I have to move over to play first base, and I'm gonna say absolutely, let's do it. So it wasn't a huge adjustment. But it's also not as easy as a lot of people think. There's a lot of different things that you have to have on your mind at first base, and you always, got to be on your toes and ready for every single ball that's hit. But I probably feel more comfortable at third base just because that's where I've been the most growing up, and also my idol was Chipper Jones growing up because I'm from Atlanta.
Sure.
Atlanta boy. Chipper's my favorite player, so he always played third base, and that's probably where I started really wanting to be a third baseman, is watching him growing up.
Absolutely. Now, I have this question for later, but I'll ask it now since you bring up Chipper Jones. And I had heard that he was your favorite player, and I wanted to make sure that he still was. And I saw in high school you were at Dresden that you were number 22. And I just figured, you'd have Chipper's number. I don't remember Chipper being number 22. What was the significance of number 22 for you in high school? Or was that just assigned to you?
Well, I had I can't remember, 3 or 4 numbers that I could choose from my freshman year. 10 wasn't on the table at that time. It was a junior had it or something like that. Of course, I would have loved to be number 10 just like Chipper, but I kind of went with number 22, and I had a good freshman year of high school, and baseball players are really superstitious. So once I had that good year, I was like, I can't change it up. So I just kept with 22 all throughout high school.
Yeah, because I saw you in some video, and it was your junior year or your senior year, and I was like, well, he's 22. He's the big stud of the team. He is crushing home runs. He has his pick of any number, but he's not wearing number 10. So just wanted to ask you about that and kind of clarify from my mind at least. Now, I want to go back to kind of the minor leagues in general. And for those who wonder and will never know, talk about the grind that is the minor league season.
Yeah, I mean, it's a grind. You go from high school playing 30, 40 games, and you go to college and you play 50, 60, 65 games, depending on playoffs, and then all of a sudden you're thrown into pro ball, and it's a 140-game schedule. You get 1 or 2 off days a month. You just have to learn how to maintain yourself and prepare your body, stretch out, roll out, listen to your body, do whatever you can to make sure you stay healthy. Even if it's just a minor injury, you got to go into the training room and talk it through with your trainer, and fix a problem before it becomes a major problem. I think that was a big thing for me. Like, every player is going to have little minor injuries throughout a 140-game season, but if you stay on top of it, address whatever your body's telling you, then you're going to have more success, staying healthy, and feeling better out on the field.
Now, talk about that a little bit. I mean, how do you prepare yourself in the off season to go through that much longer season? And do you prepare yourself different this off season than you had the last couple?
Last off season, I didn't really know what to think because it was my first full year this past year.
Sure.
So, yeah, after I got drafted, I only played maybe 60 or 70 games. I can't exactly remember. Not full schedule, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think, this year I definitely have a better idea of what I need to do to prepare for 140 games plus the spring training. And the strength coaches do a great job of laying out conditioning plans for us, laying out the strength programs for us. If you follow along with that, I think you're going to set yourself up for a really good season.
Wanted to ask you, I saw in your backyard, is that maybe that's your backyard or your parents' backyard? It looks like you got a batting cage set up. I mean, how often are you on that, or has the weather been so inclement you couldn't do that?
No, here in Atlanta, the weather's actually pretty nice. Today it's, I think, 70 or 75 degrees, nice and sunny. So maybe a little bit of a taste of Arizona here in a couple days. So no, I've been lucky to have really good weather since I've been here for the past couple weeks, and I've been in the cage every single day. Got a new first baseman, so I've been catching balls off of that with the pitching machine. I'm just anxious to get out to Arizona now.
I bet. I mean, just talk about that, your anxiousness, your excitedness, and what are your expectations for the 2017 season?
I think just continuing to make the adjustments and maybe some small changes that the Dodgers want to see out of me. This past season they thought that I had a pretty good year, but they do want to see a little bit more power numbers, maybe some more doubles and home runs. And I've actually, back in beginning of January, I flew out to LA and hit with good buddy Kyle Garlick
Hmm.
and Gibby. We went out to his baseball complex out there. I spent a week out there with him and Craig Wallenbach, another one of our hitting instructors in the system, and just really pounded out some small changes that I need to make to my swing. And if I take those into spring training, then I mean I feel comfortable right now. If I continue throughout spring training feeling comfortable, then I think I can move up a level. If I have to go back to Rancho, then I can continue those changes and maybe make my way up by the end of the year.
You led the Quakes in RBIs last year. You had a really consistent year, a lot of clutch at bats. Just talk about what you gained from the experience that was the 2016 season.
You know, last year was awesome. We had a great team
Yeah.
out of spring training, and we had a great team throughout the whole year. But it was just a great group of guys around me. And when you talk about the beginning of the year, I had Andrew Tolles in front of me, Tim LaCastro in front of me, Kyle Garlick. So there were so many opportunities for me to, drive those guys in. They do
Sure.
a great job of getting on base. Garlick does a great job of getting doubles and everything like that. So it made my job easy. All I had to do was get a hit and drive them in.
Yeah.
So, and then also, I mean, we had so many big league guys, and they would usually hit right in front of me, and that was fun. That was the most exciting thing is that would get in a high pressure situation. It would kind of take my mind off it, just like watching Yasiel Puig bat right in front of me when I'm used to watching him on the TV.
Yeah.
Whereas he's hitting 3-hole and I'm hitting 4-hole. It's kind of a crazy moment just to sit there on the on deck circle and watch him hit, and then all of a sudden it's my turn to hit. It kind of takes the pressure off of me. I didn't feel a lot of pressure this past year, and I think that's the main thing. Guys that don't feel the pressure or do a good job of not thinking about the high tense moments are the guys that have the most success in a pressure situation. And I really kind of take every at bat the same. So it doesn't matter if there's a guy on third base or second base, or if it's late innings, or if the bases are empty. I'm still gonna. Obviously, the pitcher's gonna attack different with
Sure.
a guy on second base than he is with nobody on base. But it's not really changing my mindset of how I'm going to attack the pitcher.
All right. Thank you so much, Matt Beaty, for joining us today on Dodgers-LowDown. We really look forward to watching you in the 2017 season.
You bet, Steven. I appreciate it.
All right. Matt Beaty, everybody. Thank you so much.